The League of Women Voters of Cupertino-Sunnyvale presents the Fremont Union High School District Board of Education Candidate Forum 2018, live from the Cupertino Community Hall. And now for tonight's moderator, Tracy Edwards.
Welcome to this candidate forum for Fremont Union High School District. I'm Tracy Edwards from the League of Women Voters and will be moderating tonight's forum. The League of Women Voters hosts forums like this to allow voters to see candidates and to hear them address questions of interest to the public. Our goal is to enable voters to learn about candidates so they can make informed choices. The League of Women Voters never endorses or opposes a candidate or a political party. 3 of the 5 seats on the Board of Trustees for Fremont Union High School District are up for election this November. All 6 candidates are here tonight. They are Benaifer Dastoor, Meena Juttukondo-Gajula, Rosa Kim, Naomi Nagano-Matsumoto, Don Sun, and William Wilson, who goes by Bill. Voters in the school district may vote for 3 of these candidates. 3 candidates that get the most votes this November will be elected to the school board. The candidates have agreed to a format and ground rules for tonight's forum, and the format is simple. I will pose a question to the candidates, and each candidate will have 60 seconds to respond. A timer seated in the front row will give the candidates visual signals to help them pace their responses. The questions for tonight's forum were developed by a team of league members based on their own research and questions submitted by the public via email. Since we received ample questions from the public in advance, we are not collecting more questions from the audience tonight. The forum is being recorded and aired live on the city and the Cupertino City channel. The ground rules ask that the candidates do not use forum recordings for campaign purposes. We also encourage the audience not to record the forum because we want it to be viewed in its entirety. We'll tell you how to access the forum video at the end of tonight's program. Finally, we ask that the audience refrain from displays of support or opposition. Please hold your applause until the end of the forum. We'll now turn our attention to the candidates. Thank you all very much for running for office and for participating tonight. Each candidate will provide an opening statement. The speaking order for the opening statements was determined by random drawing and will be from left to right, starting with Rosa. Rosa, your opening statement, please.
Hi, my name is Rosa Kim. I spent past 15 years at school as a parent, and my son is a FUHSD student. For the past 10 years, I serve as a teacher and principal of the Silicon Valley Korean School, which has been located at Cupertino High School for 22 years. With over 1,000 students and 200 volunteers. I focus on educating them to grow as respectful community members. Together with my team, I run a financially open school with a well-planned curriculum, and I'd like to use my experience to contribute to the district. As a board member, I'd like to reinforce students' mental wellness program. I major in educational psychology, and I know how important their mental well-being is to their future success. As a board member, I would like to incorporate all the students' voice into the district policies by proactively reaching out, listening, and making best action.
Thank you. Bill?
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy, and thank you to the League of Women Voters and for putting on this event, and thank you all for coming. So I was first elected to the Fremont Union High School District Board in 2006, and I'm currently board president. So I think the real question is, why am I running again? Well, I think shortly it's because I really love this district, and because I think we build a really solid foundation. And of the 3 of us whose terms are up this time, 2 are not running this time. I really appreciate the work Hung Wei and Barbara Nunes have done to build a strong foundation, but I believe we need some continuity to build on this foundation to take us forward. We're going to have even more challenges in the future, and I think it helps to have someone around who's seen what worked and maybe what not so much. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Meena.
Hi. Thank you for hosting and inviting me for the forum. My name is Meena Juttukondo. I'm a resident of Sunnyvale for 18 years. I am a mother of 2 children and a current parent of FUHSD and CUSD. I have been a community leader of the district for over a decade. I am served on PTA as a president and many other roles. I'm a Boy Scout and a Girl Scout leader. I coach basketball for Cupertino and Sunnyvale. I believe in strengthening our schools. My own education background is I have a master's degree in accounting, economics, and business. I have a diploma in software engineering, and I have a coursework in child studies and communication. If elected, I will focus on maintaining our excellent schools.
Thank you. Benaifer?
Hi, thank you, Tracy. Thank you, League of Women Voters, and thank you, audience. I'm Benaifer Dastoor. I, as a parent of 2 children, know how much we care for our children, their education and wellness. Over the past 13 years, I have worked extensively with teachers, students, parents in our school district. As a parent leader, as a president of booster organizations, PTAs at the school and the council level, I have worked with the community. I am on the school district Citizen Advisory Committee and the Wellness Task Force, which tackles the important issue of enrollment and student stress. My priorities are excellent education for all students with student wellness at the forefront, and that is achieved by recruitment and retaining of great teachers, collaborative approach, and having community involvement in our school district. I hope to get your support. I have support of a cross-section of parents, students, and elected board officials. Thank you so much.
Don.
Thank you, League of Women Voters, for organizing this forum for the community. My name is Don Sang. My mom was an elementary school teacher for her whole life, and she told me to study hard and help others. I went to Renmin University to receive my master's degree in statistics and urban planning. Pursuing higher education, I went to University of Pennsylvania to finish my master's degree in economics. Moving to the East Coast, to the Stanford University, I do the Hoover research. And at the meantime, I finished my law degree in the Peninsula Law School. I spend most of my time in volunteer for the community. I'm currently on the Cupertino Rotary Club as a board member and the president for the Cupertino Historical Society, and 8 years on the Planning Commission, twice as the chair. I have 2 boys graduated from Fremont Union High School District. I'm going to continue to serve the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Naomi.
Good evening. Thank you, Tracy, and the League of Women Voters, and for all of you for coming tonight. It's amazing the number of people that come, and that's one of the nice things about this community is how engaged the community is. I'm Naomi Nagano-Matsumoto, and I'm really very grateful for this opportunity to be a candidate of the Fremont Union High School District Board. My 3 kids were lucky to have graduated from Homestead High School, and Fremont Union High School District is one of the top districts in the nation, and I want to work to keep it the best. My motto is BEST, B-E-S-T, being the beacon of excellence for students and teachers, and in doing that, in that, doing what's best, being the best, and staying the best, and that's what I'm committed to do. What I bring to the students in our district is I've been a nonprofit executive in management for 25 years. Most of this time here in this county. I have governance experience, having served
Naomi,
as a
thank you very
commissioner.
much. Bill, the next question will begin with you. What demonstrated prior experiences make you qualified for this board role?
Well, I have the board experience, which I think will be helpful because it has shown me some things. So why don't I go into a couple of other things? So along the way, I was a CEO of a company, and running a company gave me some insights which I think are useful with the district. It's not that the district is a company, the objectives are different. It's success for all of our students. But to get there, you have to create an organization that works together, and that's similar to a business. Also, putting in place a strong budget and staying to that, working within our means, and using those dollars to get the best results for our kids. I think I learned that along the way. And more recently, I've had the chance to go back to one of my first loves, which was teaching mathematics. So I'm teaching a class at De Anza College, and that gives me a chance to see what our students need to succeed after they leave our schools. And it also gives me a chance to see what a great community college system we have.
Thank you very much. Meena?
As I mentioned in my opening statement, I have been an active member in the school and community. Based on my experience in working with parents, students, teachers, and administrators, I have insight into the schools. As a coach and a scout leader, I interact with kids to mentor them, train them, and build character. Having a background in accounting, I know the realities of working with the budget, and I understand the financials. All this has prepared me to move forward to have effectively served the community. In the same way I've effectively served our children. Over the last decade, I easily attended over 100 board meetings in various organizations, all supporting the kids, and I fully understand how to operate effectively within the board structure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Benaifer?
I'm running for the Fremont Union High School District Board because I care. I care for our students, for our children, and for our teachers and the entire school community. Working for 13 years since the time my kids started school, I have dedicated myself to our public schools, to strengthening them, giving all that I could, working collaboratively with the school community. The experience, the depth and the breadth of my experience and involvement with the school community, along with my professional experience in finance, allows me to help the school district to continue on the path of maintaining its excellence and serving our students well. That is one of the reasons I'm running, and that is, I think, a great responsibility and something that I've used to working collaboratively with all the community, which I can bring to the school district. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Don?
Yeah, besides the volunteer work, I have been on the Planning Commission for 8 years. Twice as chair, so I know how government function and how to build consensus with your colleague. There's a lot of challenge during the Cupertino Planning Commission meeting, but I know it's when we respect to each other, build consensus, it's a very important factors. I want to bring this experience immediately bring to the Fremont Union High School Board, and also I'm president of a historical society. I truly believe bring the older generation together is needed the students from high school all to the seniors community. That's why I take the presidency of there. And I think it's, beside this one, I'm also working at the Cupertino Rotary Club. There's many friends in this room. We build the community together. That's why I want to get this serving above self to the community.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Naomi?
I'm a social worker, and I'm a social justice advocate and an educational advocate. I have 25 years of experience running nonprofits and have worked on contracts, budgets, and program management. I have also been a school social worker, having been placed in the schools. I've also placed counselors in schools as a nonprofit leader. And from a very practical, from a parent perspective, I have volunteered in the schools since my kids were in preschool, and have, in my last 4 years, have served on the PTSA executive committee and worked on higher level executive positions.
Thank you very much. Rosa?
Yeah, I have taught students in the classroom, and I ran school as principal. And I saw, thousands of students growing from our feeder schools to the high school to college, and it was really valuable experience for me to observe them and and help them. And I used the district facility, and I fully understand the current issue of the facility. One time, I saw rain dropping from the ceiling. So, and lastly, I have experience of publishing a series of textbooks. And I also hosted a teacher seminar in the district office for 9 years. And I know how to support our teachers and staff.
Thank you very much. Meena, the next question will begin with you. How will you stay informed of the needs of the constituents across the entire district?
Can you repeat the question?
Certainly. How will you stay informed of the needs of the constituents across the entire district?
The most important goal, from my experience, apart from setting the visions and goals, adopting policies and overseeing annual budget, the board should be responsible to the values and beliefs and priorities of the community, maintain transparency and accountability, provide support, have two-way communication and with the community. The core value of mine is to support and inspire all students to reach their goals. All voices should be heard. We should strive together as a team to achieve our common goals. In all years of my leadership, one of the biggest achievements was working together as a team with other board members and bringing the community together in support of our students, programs, and all this was possible with involving the community by building their trust. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Benaifer?
Could you please repeat the question?
Sure. How will you stay informed of the needs of the constituents across the entire district?
Yes. So I am a grassroots parent. I have put in 13 years in the school district from the time my kids were in kindergarten. I have not only worked as a volunteer, which I enjoyed a lot, worked in the classrooms, listened to the teachers, listened to the parents, listened to the students. As I volunteered on the PTSA board, became the PTSA president, whether it's at the council or the school level. I've also been a president at the council level. What I do is collaborate, listen to the students, because that's how you can be an effective leader. That's how you bring in effective programs that can serve your students, that can serve the parents. The other thing is I am a part of several committees which has parents, students, teachers, administrators, like the Citizen Advisory Committee, like the Student Wellness Task Force, where we are like 30 people, 40 people listening to each other's voice, bringing in the community, and that's how you solve problems, that's how you involve community, and that's the way I would go about as a board trustee, keep the community involved.
Thank you very much.
Communicate.
Thank you. Don?
Yeah, I'm very optimism, and I think it's there's several things that happened in the past 10 years in our community, both in the school and in the cities. As the planning commissioner, I have seen so many polarized and extremist the argument, but I always think it's like a community advisory committee. It should be CAC should be one of a form and put the committee together and bring all the stakeholders together, openly discuss. There is always a solution for any challenge issue. As long as we couldn't reach the maximum benefit, we can always reach minimum damage. So there's always have a compromise we can face and deal with the issues. That's why it's each time on the planning commissioner, we most time is in the past 8 years, we almost reach, most time we can reach consensus and
Thank you
vote.
very much, Don.
Thank you.
Rosa?
Naomi.
Oh, I'm sorry. Naomi, excuse me.
So one of my skills as a social worker is community development and community engagement. And working in the community is very near and dear to me and something that I like to do because I like to get my hands dirty in a sense. And so I feel comfortable working in very diverse communities, and I think that this school district has very diverse communities all the way from the foothills of Cupertino and to North Sunnyvale. And I have always been a proponent and an advocate of making sure that all communities are heard, all communities are brought to the table, and all communities feel that they have value when they come to the table. And so simple things like having meetings out in a neighborhood where families and parents can get to, as opposed to maybe at the district office, because many of our parents, although maybe working, have hourly jobs as opposed to salaried positions and aren't always able to have the luxury to come to an afternoon meeting or early meeting or take off work to do things. And so being able to be out in the community is very important. And so I would make sure that
Thank you very much. Thank you. Rosa.
Finally. Yeah, my campaign slogan is reach out, listen, and act. Well, I think open and transparent communication is really helpful, and it's best tool we can we can include all the stakeholders and our students and staff and parents and their ideas. And these days, I'm a part of the WASC committee as a parent volunteer, and then I could have a chance to meet with teachers. And then they mentioned about in their actually, I talked with the new teacher, and then he wanted to have more the communication or with the experienced teachers, and it was really helpful for me. And then also, I would like to incorporate students' voice in the district policy, so we can have more rules to listen to students' ideas and thoughts for our schools.
Thank you very much. Bill?
Yeah, so it's a very good question because our district is actually quite large. It includes almost all of Sunnyvale, Cupertino, a lot of Western San Jose, and some parts of some other cities. So really staying in touch with people is a challenge. So I think you have to do a lot of things. I think you have to be out at community events in order to see people where they are. I think you have to be at the school sites as frequently as you can for activities to interact with parents and students and teachers at those places. And we continue to try new things. We started doing something we call board office hours, and we'll see how effective that is in reaching out to people. But it's a chance for 2 board members to go meet with people in a setting which is not subject to the formal constraints of a meeting and of a board meeting. And the citizen advisory committees, which were suggested, I think have also proven to be a really effective tool for our district. It's a chance for people to drill down on a subject and really become better informed.
Thank you very much. Benaifer, the next question will begin with you. What are your goals and priorities for the district?
My top priorities for the school district, or for our school community, what I would say is excellent and comprehensive education for all our students while keeping the student wellness at the forefront. And that ties into the priority of getting recruitment and retention of great teachers and supporting all their needs, collaborating with all the stakeholders, parents, teachers, students, administration, because that's how you get things done, and accountability and transparency in all operations and communication. That is so important because if you have a transparent communication, you can involve the community in. You can give them all the information that is needed for them to accept a decision and to contribute to a decision or a solution. So that's what my priorities are, revolve around the word care. Collaboration, accountability, retention of great teachers, and excellent education with student wellness at the forefront.
Thank you very much. Don?
Yeah, I don't set up a so particular priority. I just want to continue working with the current board member, continue their excellence, and working with the superintendent, working with the teacher, working with parents, and there's always a question, there's always a priority changes, but I dedicated commit to working with all the people. Anything is we commit here, it can be changed, but I think it's my previous experience in working in the community will prove that I will be working with the current board, future board, and make sure it's working with the superintendent in the future, and make sure our school district continue their excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Naomi?
Okay, thank you. My priorities are to maintain this very quality high school district, and with that, looking at the equity and quality of education for all of our students, resources and professional development opportunities for our teachers and our staff, being fiscally responsive and responsible. And the lens that I think I bring that's very different is I would champion social-emotional learning and social-emotional health and well-being. I think that's in a district that is very high-performing. There is a lot of stress and anxiety amongst our students. I know this personally because I've placed counselors in the schools. I was the executive director for CHAC for a year, and we place students in the schools and know what these students are facing. And so I'd like to be able to champion that and be able to make sure that social emotional health is...
We're going to pause because of the microphone. Thank you. So Naomi, I'm going to repeat the question, then you'll have 15 more seconds to complete your response. What are your goals and priorities for the district?
Okay, thank you. I'd like to just finish up by saying that I think that I want to make sure that getting those A's and A+s are not at the cost of, our child's health and well-being. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Rosa?
I have many chances to interact with students from the district. They love their schools, but at the same time, they feel stress from very strong academic environment. And I can also see, this high school period is really critical for them because after they graduate, they are alone. They need to manage their, themselves, especially their stress. They need to handle their stress alone. And I see, many college students, they drink a lot, and sometimes they resort to drugs, and they don't know how to solve, how to relieve their stress. I think at high school, we need to give them more chances to educate how to solve their stress, and we need to give more mental wellness program.
Thank you very much. Bill?
So certainly our goal is to meet the needs of all students, and the other speakers have said some very important things along the way. I guess I would describe my priorities in terms of, first, continuing to be able to attract and retain good teachers, outstanding teachers. We've done this by making what one of our people call us a destination district, by making it a district where there's a level of trust where people like to work, where there's support, where there's professional development. But we need to address the questions of this being a high-cost area and find more in terms of revenue and cost savings to be able to deal with salary and housing. We need to keep a sound budget. It's not just money, it's money for students, and that's what makes everything else go. And finally, and especially important, we need to keep our culture of collaboration, which is what enables our team to really be able to deal with the other very strong, very important priorities that have been mentioned here tonight.
Bill, thank you very much. Meena?
My top 3 priorities are creating internship, mentoring, and bring wellness programs for all students. When I say wellness programs, coming from a sports background, I know the benefits of participating in sports and its connection to physical and mental well-being, which again enables students to achieve their goals to their full potential. These programs that will encourage critical thinking, teamwork, access to tutoring, internship, and mentoring, and engaging our knowledge-rich community to invest their time, great ideas, and energy to strengthen our high schools. Promote transparent parent communication, positive parent involvement. We should establish a strong communication structure, inform and engage all the stakeholders, like parents, administrators, teachers, students, and community members in setting goals, addressing parent communities' concerns constructively. Effectively use school resources to maintain excellence in our schools.
Thank you very much, Meena. Don, the next question will begin with you. What budget challenges do you see the district needing to address over the next 5 years?
Yeah, I think it's compared with CUHSD previously, Fremont Union High School is in pretty good, healthy financial situation. But we have to understand our financial, the money that coming from, we are basic aid system. That means that most of the money is coming from a property tax. Besides the property tax, we have we have some other options, either at the personal tax or we can issue bond. So far, it's the challenge for the property tax is that we have the property value is raised a lot, but the people don't sell. It's the only realized property tax can be used for the school. Most of our school district money coming from Sunnyvale because Sunnyvale has a lot of investment and the property ongoing. That's we have a measure CC on the ballot, and I'm support measure CC to make sure it's our classroom can be built in the future.
Thank you, Don. Naomi?
Okay. Well, I think that there are, one of the things that we need to look at is to make sure that we are fiscally responsible as we make our decisions. And I believe that the budget is a moral document, and it really looks at what your priorities are. And so with that, if the measure CC doesn't pass, there are, and I'm hoping that it will because I've endorsed it, but, we would have to be looking at what we need to do then at that point. We need to look at other ways to generate revenue. We need to look at ways to be cost effective. As a nonprofit executive, those are all the things that I was tasked to do to make sure that we were on budget and look at creative and innovative ways to generate revenue. I know that there may, we're limited in the sense of what we are able to get from the state, but looking at ways that we can collaborate maybe and have partnerships so that we can bring other resources into the district.
Thank you very much. Rosa?
Could you repeat the question, please?
I'd be happy to. What budget challenges do you see the district needing to address over the next 5 years?
For the district of finance, 85% to 90% from local property tax, and about 10% from parcel tax. And then we spend about 82% for our teachers and staff salary. So there's no room. I mean, we can reorganize our budget. So I think, as the previous candidates mentioned, the district needs more funds to update their 40-year-old classrooms, and currently doing a bond campaigning, Measure CC, and I also endorse that, and for the upcoming election, and we need, so we will see the result of the election, but definitely for to better offer better education for our students, we will need to have more fund for the facility.
Thank you very much. Bill?
Yes, thank you for the question, because sometimes, since the district has done a good job of managing its budget, people think just everything is rosy, and that's not the case. The fact is that, of course, California is in the bottom 10 in the state in funding, and even on a per pupil basis, and even though we're a bit above that, we're barely at the national average, and we're in a very high cost area as far as expenses. And we are facing a couple of things that are going to take more hits out of the budget due to some decisions the state made in the early 2000s. We need to catch up on funding the teacher and the employee retirement programs, and those amounts are going up dramatically. So we have to be able to deal with that. There are ways we can do things. We can reduce costs. We've done that with things like the solar panels you see. If we're successful this November with a new bond issue, we can do some more of that. We can renovate 400 old classrooms and bring them up to date so maintenance will be less, and that will help us free up some more funds.
Thank you. Meena?
Like Bill mentioned, we do have budget issues, or there are situations where we do have budget situations. In my educational training in accounts, I have learned planning plays a big role in preparing an accurate budget. Be clear about your goals, plan for various scenarios, involve your entire team, communicate early, and overall be fiscally responsible. My experience as a treasurer and my educational background enables me to understand the financials and contribute my insights to a given financial situation. I will ensure that taxpayers' dollars are invested wisely to achieve student excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Benaifer?
So the budgetary problems Our district, fortunately, is well financially managed, and that, as a parent and as a taxpayer, I am very happy about it. Do we need to continue doing that and tap into other resources? Would there be problems in the future? There could be, because the property tax structure is such. With the expansion of rental units all around us, whether it's Sunnyvale, and we do need them as affordable housing, but with that, we need to explore things that can shore up our budgets. Something we need to advocate at a higher level at the state, whether we can drop the parcel tax approvals below 66% so that we can shore up the compensation for our teachers so that we can retain them if our budgetary things do not allow us beyond. We have a huge student base. We need to fund programs. We need to put resources in the classroom. So there are so many challenges that can come down the line, and we need to work.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Naomi, the next question is for you, and it's kind of long. One of the beliefs of Fremont Union says, and I'm going to quote it, maintaining our excellence requires that we commit to ensuring high levels of learning for all students, learning that is not limited to the knowledge and skills measured on state and national assessments. Within the context of that statement, how will you ensure that all students are given the opportunity to learn at the highest levels?
That's a good question. I think that it's important that we have good community engagement and parent engagement. One of the things that, as I sit on the WASC team at Homestead High School, one of the goals was to bring up the four-year college entrance of the Latino community. But as you sat in that room, there were no Latino parents in that room. And so how do we work with achieving that goal when we aren't engaged with the community? So with that, I also want to say that, again, the social emotional learning is very important to me. And so I would work to see that the entire classroom and school and district environment really promoted that, and work with teachers, and also, to me, it's also important that we work with the whole school, and so...
Thank you very much. Thank you. Rosa?
Tracy, I'm sorry, it was a long question, but could you repeat the question, please?
One of the main beliefs of Fremont Union says, and I'm going to quote it, maintaining our excellence requires that we commit to ensuring high levels of learning for all students, learning that is not limited to knowledge and skills measured on state and national assessments. Within the context of that statement, how will you ensure that all students are given the opportunity to learn at the highest levels?
Well, one nice thing about living in Silicon Valley is many parents are working at high-tech companies and influencing their children tremendously. We can develop more school programs that parents can volunteer, and we can develop, I think, with our parents, expertise, we can make more, various programs at district, especially not just, STEM education. We need to have a more variety of programs like art, sports, and music. That kind of comprehensive program that will be really helpful for their long life, and then it will be really make them have more opportunities to learn about their life goal, and it will be helpful. So I'd like to reinforce that kind of various enrichment program.
Thank you very much. Bill?
So first of all, thank you for bringing up the belief statement. It's, I would recommend to people that they go to the Fremont Union High School District website and look at that. I think it says a lot about our district. Specifically for making sure we ensure high levels of learning for all students. First of all, it takes a lot of different programs to do that. We've got 11,000 students in our high schools. They're not all cut from the same mold. They have different needs, and we need to meet those needs. So we have our comprehensive high schools that serve the vast majority of our students, but we have a number of other programs. And within those, we have things like the AVID program for students who might be first-time college goers, to teach them study skills. So a lot of programs. Also, we do a lot of work with teachers on this. Just this last we've just done an equity focus to make sure our teachers understand how to reach out to, and staff understand how to reach out and make sure that everybody is being included. We have professional learning communities where teachers can come together to make sure they're meeting the needs of all students.
Thank you. Meena?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question again?
And we will not write a long question again. One of the beliefs of Fremont Union says, and I quote, "Maintaining our excellence requires that we commit to ensuring high levels of learning for all students, learning that is not limited to the knowledge and skills measured on state and national assessments. Within the context of that statement, how will you ensure that all students are given the opportunity to learn at the highest levels?"
Thank you. So I believe in equity. All students should have access to all the resources. Each child learns differently. And I believe that every child has to be taught in the manner they would learn. Our priorities are not one. We have interlinked priorities. We have several of them. For instance, parent involvement. Teacher having resources for teaching excellent, giving excellent training to our students, creating wellness programs. All these lead to our top goal, student success. As an active parent in district, I agree with most of the experts that parent involvement in their children's education is one of the biggest predictors for student success. We should utilize individual strength of each parent. I believe in leaving no child behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Benaifer?
So our school district has a very high graduation rate, that's 96%, but we do have achievement gaps for our English learners, for our students with disabilities and students from low-income population. Children are our future, and I believe that every child, whatever background they come from or where they belong, they need access to high-quality public education and an opportunity to succeed. What we can do as a school district is use our general funds, and I believe it's being done, to have targeted intervention programs for these students, to have monitoring of achievements of these students so that the families can be involved and they can be helped. There could be a student success teams for these students. We need to raise all our children up so that the achievement results are equal to the rest of the population of our school district, and I think our school district can manage to do that.
Thank you very much. Don?
Yeah, I think this is our school district mission statement that we want to achieve the academic equality. And before coming to this forum, I visited 5 high school principals' office, have conducted one-on-one interview with each principals. I know each schools will have all different differences, especially for the Fremont High, Homestead, compared with Lindbergh and Mountain Vista. It's all different, but I want all students can achieve academic excellence and receive comprehensive education. Let's not only talk about the priority, not only talk about the equity, we just try to support the school and the superintendent and make a policy decision and the policy, public policy, make sure that we support the principal's general direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Rose, the next question will begin with you. How can Fremont Union deal with recruiting high-quality teachers to our high-cost environment?
Well, I was a principal of language school. Always professional training is really critical to improve the education quality. So through my experience to host teacher seminar for local school teachers, I got to know many professors in local colleges. And then they're really willingly and they're really wanted to have a can teach program, well, actually to reach out to the local schools teachers and willingly to offer their professional knowledge. So I think, I can read at the district, as a district board, I would like to reach out the local college and then have a program, to connecting our school district and the college professional staff, and then give them more professional training.
Thank you very much. Bill?
Yeah, so I touched on this a little bit before because I think it is a very important issue. I think there are a number of things we can do to make Fremont Union High School District a place where teachers want to work. That belief statement that you referred to earlier has been something that we've heard from some applicants that they saw that and they thought that's the kind of district where I want to work. And we've got a new teacher induction program, a teacher mentoring program that really help teachers feel like they're part of the district, makes them better teachers so that we bring in good people and make them even better. All of those things are valuable. We've got a culture of trust that's been built from respect and transparency, and I think the board has a big role in making sure we keep that going. But at the same time, there are hard issues that we have to deal with. We have to deal with the cost of living. We have to do everything we can to see if we can find increased revenues and bring down costs so that we can pay more. We have to help with housing. Look for partnerships. We can't build the housing by ourselves, but look for partnerships.
Thank you very
to do
much.
something there.
Meena?
Well, I agree with Rosa that we need to empower our teachers with professional development. Help them, give them resources to help in the classrooms. Not wait until we come to an intervention program. Provide them with class aids so they can help students equally. Provide our teachers the tools to have our students be successful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Benaifer?
Yeah. The way to recruit and retain our great teachers is the biggest thing I think would be compensation. Compensation matters. We need to find ways within our limited resources, either through community help or through parcel tax, or whichever way, so that we can give them adequate compensation when they travel from Pleasanton, San Francisco, Santa Cruz. There are distances that they travel. We need to do something that will help them. Besides that, of course, we need to support all their needs, professional development. We need to create an environment where they feel respected, where they feel wanted. And that's one of the ways. Our revenue sharing model of our district is one way to show our teachers that we respect them, we want them with us. Of course, the housing affordability is the big problem, but the school district cannot go in the business of construction. So we need to work with the cities. We need to have partnership, like Bill said, to work out some way where we could have affordable housing for them, for the teachers who want to stay in our district.
Thank you very much. Don?
During the campaign, people keep making promise, but I don't want to making any promise for the teachers. But I'm sure it's in my past 8 years as a planning commissioner, I work with developer, work with cities. We try to solve the public servants' housing issues, and in the future, I'm also continue to advocate for the teachers' housing issue. But also, it's when I visit all the principals, they have so many different teachers training programs, and this program is the deserve public policy and deserve our board member to support them. You know, it's on every position I take, I always have a lot of ideas, but here, I just don't want to mention all the ideas I have. I'm going to working with the board member to make sure it's every idea is we can implement, we can access, we can make sure it's they realize. Thank you.
Thank you. Naomi?
As a nonprofit executive who recruits staff, I really understand how difficult this is, and nonprofit salaries are oftentimes even lower than teacher salaries, unfortunately. And so one of the things that I think that, and I agree with what the other speakers have said before me, but so in addition to making sure that salaries are competitive, it's really looking to show teachers, and I think what's important too is staff, because it's important to recruit quality staff, is to show them the value that they provide to our students and to our district. One of the things, and I want to emphasize quality, because as someone who has hired many people, you can tell the difference between someone who comes in and does this as a job as opposed to someone who does this as a passion. And so one of the things that I would like to do is be able to make sure that they are valued and compensated.
Thank you very much. So Bill, the next question will begin with you, and it's interesting that we begin with you on this one, because this is a question about the existing board's performance. Based on your experiences, and this is to the whole team here, in observing the current board or participating on it, what are they doing well? And if you're reelected or elected and become a trustee, what would you like to see changed?
Okay, well, that's an interesting one. Well, first of all, I've found it a pleasure to work on this board. And one of the things that I think is great about this board is that we have been able to work together, respect each other. We don't always come in with the same ideas, but we can discuss, and everybody has a sort of different background, a different perspective they bring to the table. And I think it winds up with better solutions as a group. And I think everybody on the board is committed to the best interests of all students. I think one of the things that we continue to work with is doing even more in terms of connecting with the community. I said we're experimenting with some things, the board office hours, which I think are a good idea, but maybe there's more that we can do. So as we go forward, I'd like to see us continue to work on that. We actually did a self-evaluation this year. We did okay on the marks, but we're going to continue to do that so that we can continue to get better.
Thank you very much. Meena?
I'm sorry again. Can
Yes,
you repeat?
I'll distill it. Based on your experiences in observing the current board, what are they doing well? If you become a trustee, what would you like to see changed?
For sure, I would like to bring more of parent engagement. Have the parent community get involved in more of the board meetings. When parents get involved, there's a huge difference. I would like to have open communication set, two-way communications, and yeah, pretty much. I'm not on the board, so it's hard to tell. Apart from setting the visions, like I mentioned earlier, vision and goals, adopting policies and overseeing annual budget, I think maintaining transparency and ensuring accountability, providing support is one of the most important things a board member can bring to the table. Thank you.
Benaifer?
Yeah. So I've attended countless of board meetings, sat through those 4 and 5 hours that they spent listening to the teachers, listening to the community members. I have even presented to the board meeting on behalf of the Citizen Advisory Committee the solution that we recommended, the Wellness Task Force, the solution that the team worked. I have been a part of those communication team. One thing, as a parent, because I'm not a board member, as a parent, I would say that our board members, the thing that I feel are they're very compassionate and they care for our students. I see the value, how they value the staff. They're always very respectful to see the staff presentations, and our staff are pretty innovative. So this is something I've seen. What could be done a little better? I would say a little bit more outreach, a little bit of more communication, because parents are really busy. If I did not go to these board meetings and I was not involved in these committees, for sure I would not know the amount of things that a school district does or has to do for our students. So that is one thing I would improve, the communication a bit more. Thank you.
Thank you. Don?
Yeah, I appreciate at least 3 board members in this room has been working together with me in the Rotary Club. I've been working with Jeff Moore as the co-chair for the youth community service in 2 years, and also it's Hong Wei is my mentor to guide me on the public service. When I first moved to the Cupertino, Hong Wei have a coffee talk with me, says that we always put the community above ourselves. That's the 10 years ago talk, and also it's working with a community Rotary Club with Bill, Jeff, and Hong Wei. It's really builds the personal friendship and the trust, and make sure it's that we reach out to the higher level unity and build the community together. Thank you. I think our board is very good. I'm going to continue this excellence working with every board, no matter all the.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Naomi?
I've been to not only the Fremont Union High School District Board meetings, but also have attended other district board meetings and city council meetings and county board meetings. And so one of the things that I've noticed is that the Fremont Union High School District Board is very collaborative and very collegial and really works very well together. They have a high level of respect for each other, and not only for each other, but for the team that they have built with the administration and the superintendent and the teachers union and the classified union and anyone else who comes to make presentations. One of the things that I also appreciate is that the board goes out into the community. They have board meetings out in each of the schools, which makes it easier for us to attend sometimes, and so I've been able to be in attendance when they've come to Homestead High School. And I think that's,
Thank you very much. Rosa?
Yeah, I recently I attended multiple district board meetings, and I'm always impressed by their hard work. For long hours, they have meetings, and then they always go to they go to all the school sites and participate in the school events, and it was really impressive. And actually, when I talk with my neighbors in the community, when their children graduate from the schools, they don't feel any connection with school. So I know, our school is really great, but they don't know what's going on at schools. So I feel this connection between schools and community when they, after their children graduate from schools. So I think, our students can make initiative in connecting our schools and neighboring communities. They do sports games at school and they do have performance. Why not promoting their activities to neighboring communities?
Thank you very much. Meena, the next question will begin with you, and I'm going to ask all the participants for a very short answer on this one. Do you support bond measure CC? If yes, why? If no, why not?
I would trust the voters to make informed decisions with the information available, like just stated in the past. And that would be.
Thank you. Benaifer?
Yes, I support the measure CC because our schools were built in the 1950s, and it is time that our students got renovated classrooms and better heating systems and all the things that need to be worked on. So yes, I support measures.
Thank you very much. Don?
Right here, yesterday in this hall, I appreciate the Superintendent Polly Bowie and the Assistant Superintendent Graham, and also it's our school board members, the Hongwei is here. We conduct a town hall meeting here to teach people and educate the people how Measure CC should be passed in this community. We have from 2008, we have a Measure K, and we have a Measure G, and also we have a Measure, we have a personal tax. We all go through the community oversight committee to oversee how we spend the money. It's time for us to have more money to build, modernize our classroom. That's why I support the Measure CC, and I hope all the residents here can have our community support to vote for yes for the Measure CC. That's the community's property value going to raise too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Naomi?
Yes, I support Measure CC. I also have a lawn sign in my on my lawn, and so that's a public support of it also. I really believe in the modernization of our classrooms for the health and well-being of our students, and also making sure that the upgrades and the safety factors are taken care of.
Thank you very much. Rosa?
Yeah, the Measure CC, I support Measure CC, and this bond is really important to maintain the high quality education our students are receiving. And then, as I mentioned, I know, our classrooms are 40-year long, the classrooms, and then they really need renovated. I know, from my first experience, I taught in the classroom, and I could see lots of things to be renovated. And by the way, but I will follow with voting result and then take appropriate action. And yeah.
Thank you very much. Bill?
Yes, I strongly support Measure CC. So I think we've shown the community that we can handle the money well. We've done our facilities work on time and on budget and with the highest credit rating in the state of California for any school district, so that the money can go to classrooms instead of to interest. We've got over 400 classrooms that really haven't been touched since the 50s and 60s. They need upgrading. It will help the teaching and learning that goes on there, and it will also save us costs. If we upgrade the infrastructure, we don't have to do emergency repairs and with some of the damage that comes from that. So it saves operational costs as well.
Thank you very much. We're now going to turn to a question that we gave the candidates in advance to give them the opportunity to comment on something that we did not ask them about this evening. Benaifer, we'll begin with you. Would you please state and answer a question you wish you had been asked?
Me?
Yes,
right?
please.
Yes. Yes, so I have the question that I think should be asked is, what are the challenges that us being a board district trustee involves? So as a board trustee, the biggest challenge that you encounter is you make a decision that impacts 11,000 students and families. In effect, essentially, you are a parent of 11,000 children. You have to balance the needs and the priority of diverse families that our school district has. So that is something that we need to take into account. As a school board district, it's not, as a school board trustee, it's not about I, it's about we. We need to be able to work collaboratively with our peers, with our school staff, with our community, so that we get to a better decision. Collaborative approach, accountability, transparency, community involvement is what I pledge to bring to the school board as a school board trustee. And that is what I would like to answer that question. Thank you.
Don?
Yeah, I would like people ask me as a trustee how you can help Fremont Union High School District Foundation, Education Foundation. People always think there's some money for the Fremont Union High School, but there's some money people couldn't use. That's why we need the Fremont Union High School District Foundation to chip in the money. I think it's at the fundraiser in the past 10 years to all kind of volunteer organization. I think it's my capacity and my passion. It's to do the fundraising for Fremont Union High School District Foundation. It's my plus. So I enjoy to help Fremont Union High School Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you. Naomi?
I'd like to ask a different question, and it's a more personal question, but it gets to my commitment and my passion for students. And that question is, what is something that others may not know about me in this room? And it's that I volunteer in the jails. And I go there, and I've put it on hold right now for the last couple of months because I've been campaigning, but I go once a week and I provide Buddhist education to men at the main jail. And as I sit there, I see young men who have had opportunities that have been lost. And my commitment is that I do not want to see any student in the Fremont Union High School District sitting in any of those cells. And so I think education is a key to that. And yes, sometimes people make poor choices, and some of the stuff that they are dealing with are obstacles. But I think that when we provide an education as a pathway, then
Thank you very much. Rosa, please.
Yeah, my question is, our district is providing a great education for our students. What are the ways we can do better to help students to be more successful overall? I have to mention that the district has strong academic environment, but there are voices for more comprehensive high school programs. We have to increase hours for mental and emotional wellness program and develop programs specifically to manage stress, like small group discussion session with a mentor teacher. For a comprehensive program, we need to provide more various programs, not just as a STEM program. So I think there are needs, from students. They want to learn more about various subjects, like cooking or more arts or that kind of program. So maybe we need to keep reinforcing our various programs, and we can also reach out to parents, volunteers.
Thank you. Bill?
Okay, so I may be preaching to the choir with this, but my question is, why should members of the community care about the schools even if they do not have a child in the school system? So I think public institutions public schools are a core institution of our democracy. Of course, we want to do things to prepare students to be successful in a career, so they can be productive and they can have a they can have a fulfilling life. They can pay taxes. They can be contributing members of the community. But public schools, if done right, can do much more. They can engage students in the community in a way that is not possible with any other institution. They can bring people together so that they can learn how you work with people you disagree with, something we really need now. Especially in this community, bringing people together when we have the asset that we got people from all over the world. And if we bring people together in our public schools, we can really capitalize on that asset and help make this world a better place in the future.
Thank you. Meena.
So the question I would have been like to ask was, what steps could the board take to establish community's trust? In my years of leadership, one of my biggest achievement was bringing our team together with other board members and bringing the community together in support of our students and programs. All this is possible only with involving the community by building their trust. I believe effective school boards are accountably driven, spending less time on operational issues and more time focused on policies to improve student achievement. Thank you.
Thank you. Please join me in a round of applause for the candidates participating tonight. The candidates will remain after the forum to give you a chance to talk with them individually. You may also pick up their literature in the lobby. And please visit lwvcs.org in the coming days to find the video for tonight's forum. Go to the calendar on the website, scroll down to the listing for this event to find the link to the video. Also, I encourage you to check out votersedge.org, formerly Smart Voter, the League of Women Voters election information website. Among other valuable information, it includes content on the money behind political campaigns at the federal and state levels. More information will be added to Voters Edge throughout October, especially for local contests and measures. I want to thank you all for attending. I also want to thank the people that sent us questions by email. We greatly appreciate the City of Cupertino for the use of Community Hall this evening and for the wonderful TV crew whose work makes this forum available to all Cupertino voters. We hope tonight's forum has helped you with your voting decisions. If you like this event and would like to help us on future forums, please visit our table in the lobby. At that table, you will also find flyers listing more election events. And last and most importantly, please remember to vote on November 6th. Thank you very much.
But you did great.